Boom! What's up, guys? Good morning, afternoon, wherever you are. This is a video on quitting. Okay. So, I was inspired to make this video about a week ago, but for some reason I didn't, and fortunately I got re-inspired today. So, I want to talk about quitting and what is actually going on when that happens. So, for example, I'm going to use a little training camp I went through about a week ago, a little bit less, where I spent basically $1,300 to go through, learn, and basically get smoked in a training camp, a Special Forces training camp in North Carolina. So, I went to this camp because I am really interested in doing pararescue for the Air Force. And at this camp, they train you all the things that you need in order to make it through their selection courses, which is called INDOC. So, they basically condense it into 2 weeks, and the normal course I'll be going through in the future for the Air Force is 10 weeks. So, I was really interested in doing this. I really want to do pararescue, and I'm like, bam, this is awesome. This will help me understand what I need to work on in order to make it through well, and to see if I'm really interested in this type of thing. So, spent $1,300, and just like the Air Force, they have a policy at this training camp I went to that if you quit, you're out of the course. So if you say, I quit, or you choose to not do an exercise they're telling you to do, or whatever, if you're not listening to them and you're purposely denying what they're saying to do, you are out of the course. Even though you paid money. It could be the third day, and this happened. If you say, I quit, I don't want to do this anymore, boom, you don't get your refund. They're saying, okay, you're done, you said quit, you're out. I call it failure to train. Okay, so I went there, started with 9 guys, we ended up with 5. So, 4 guys quit. Actually, it could have even been worse. It could have been down to 3 guys because 2 guys actually had said they quit, and the instructors were nice enough to be like, okay, I want you to reconsider, do this, and they remotivated them. So normally they don't do that. They happen to do that to 3 other guys. So it could have been even worse. It could have been 3 out of 9 people who made it through, me and 2 others. So, of the ones who quit, every single one of them had regret feeling, except the one who claimed he was injured. Like, after you talk to them, they're always like, yeah, I regret it. This other guy wanted to be a Navy SEAL. He didn't necessarily say he regretted it. I mean, of course he did, though. I mean, this was the 3rd day. He flew out there, spent however much money on his plane ticket, and he missed about 10 more days of training that he paid for. So, that and everyone else, even if it was towards the end, they regret quitting because, of course, they didn't feel good because they weren't going in line with their intentions. Okay, that's what quitting is. It's like, just like I had in my mind, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go here, I'm going to get this out of it, boom. Spending my money to do this. Okay, that's my intention. So see it right here. My intention is set. Bam, this is what I want to do. And quitting is when, of course, when something happens, there's some type of influence that tricks us into believing this isn't our intention anymore. So, for example, for me, this almost happened. I didn't give it much credit, fortunately, and here's a little thing you can maybe do when you notice the bitch-ass weak part of your mind trying to control over your decisions. So I remember one of the times when I was just finning, it wasn't even that hard of a task. And this happens sometimes. Like, I've watched documentaries on Air Force pararescue. It's their special forces. It's like the cream of the crop of their special forces. And there's people that in the middle of like an evolution, which isn't even that hard, like they'll quit, and everyone's like, "What?" I couldn't believe it because this guy was a stud, and he quit on this really easy, like training exercise, and the same thing could have happened to me. Fortunately, I was aware enough of my mind and meditation, whatever, that I didn't fall for it. So I was swimming in the pool, doing something called combat side stroke, doing the swimming, not even that hard. It was a good amount of distance. We had already worked out, whatever. It was a good amount of workout we've done that day, but this wasn't even that hard that I was doing. And I'm fitting, and then in my mind, I had my alone time, whatever, in the water, and it was just like, oh, dude, what if you can't do this? This isn't comfortable. Oh gosh, blah, 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 blah. It was basically just speaking out of like the body's tiredness, and it was manifesting itself through the mind. My body's tired and it wants to quit, because it's being overworked, it's being very overtrained. And in that process, the body's like, dude, fuck this. Why did you put me through this? I'm going to trick you. I'm going to create these thoughts that'll make you go against your intention. So the thoughts come up. Oh my gosh, in the voice of my own voice. It's not my intention though. It's not me. It's not what I want to do. It's what the body wants to do. It's like, oh my gosh, dude, what if this isn't for you? Maybe blah, 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 whatever. Just weak ass little bitch voice is in my head. And it's funny, I noticed this, and I was like, oh, that's like interesting. And I knew that wasn't my intention, so I redirected my attention. Redirection my attention. I hope you understood that. Not intention, attention, my awareness, inside the pool, and I just kept doing the exercise. Later, maybe a couple days later, maybe the same day, I made a pact with a couple of guys, because a couple of guys had quit. 2 guys had quit, and I could definitely tell that they, well, at least one of them, one who didn't claim he had an injury, was not happy about it. Like, he went from being like personable, charismatic, confident, to like kind of like, not very confident, sure of himself. It was it was kind of like I have a little bit. It was a little bit sad to watch. A little bit empathy for the person. Supposedly, it can happen to anyone, but I think that there's some ways you can prevent it from happening to you. So, when that happens, when that voice in your head comes up, notice it is not yourself, okay? And do whatever you have to do in order to not fall for that, One thing I did with another, teammate through this experience, like I was just about to tell you, on like the 3rd or 4th day, I made a pact with a couple guys. I was like, I will never quit during an evolution. Okay, that's basically during a training exercise. If I want, later in the day when we have downtime, I can quit then, but never during an evolution. Actually, I think I should have changed it to I will never quit in the daytime. I'll only quit at night after the whole day is done. That way, if I'm quitting, it's not my body that's making the decision for me. It's my mind. So like, let's say after a full day of working out, and the whole time my body's like, oh, no more. What the fuck? Why are you putting me through this? Here's my manipulation method to try to get you to stop. Here's the voice. It's going to come across. I'm going to pretend it's you and see if you fall for it. Here it is. Here's the reason you should stop. God, this pain sucks. Blah, 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 whatever. Oh, this is bad for your body. You shouldn't be doing this. Whatever. All these things that'll come up with in the moment while it's tired and stuff like that. If I make a commitment to only decide to quit when it's at nighttime, at the end of the day, boom. Then I'll know at the end of the day I finished an entire day. My body will be tired, but it won't be getting worked out at the time. So if I make that decision, it'll be based on my own decision and not my tired body. So that's basically my rant / understanding of quitting in that type of manner. So, do what you have to. If you notice that shit happening, it's probably not you talking. The reason why, because everyone regretted it afterwards, okay? You could tell they regretted it. They either said they did, or that you could tell Actually, every single person had said they did except for one guy. So, they regretted it because it wasn't in line with the type of person they want to be. It was just their body tricking them. So, don't let that shit happen to you. Become aware, is this, whatever this mentality, thought process is going in my mind, is this who I am? Is this who I want to be? Is this my intention? Or is it some bitch-ass part of my mind, either from social conditioning, from the society, or my body just being tired, trying to convince my mind otherwise, or convince me otherwise? So, don't let that happen to you. Make a pact with someone if you have to. Make a pact with yourself. Become aware of that shit. And don't be a fucking bitch. Be a champ. Because it feels awesome to be a champ, dude. I'm done with the training, you know. I was one of 2 other guys who never quit. Never even said I would quit. Thoughts popped in my head. I didn't fall for it, though. Boom. And I feel good. I feel confident. I'm developing into the person I'm meant to be, which is my strongest version of myself. And at the same time, I even think I could have done a little better. And there's parts of me that have been like, man, I wish I had just gone through a little more pain, you know, because afterwards I would feel that much more of a champ, and I would have felt so much better, you know. Pain is temporary. Your sense of accomplishment, pride is forever. So, yeah, think about that. That pain is temporary. Regret is forever. I'm not saying it's forever, but it's a lot longer than the temporary pain. Boom. Have a good one, guys. Be champs. Never give up.